Welcome back. If you're looking for a large Chromebook for everyday browsing in 2026, then I think you're going to want to shortlist this one. It's the new Acer Chromebook 315. It's an entry-level clamshell Chromebook with a large 15.6-inch display, and it's powered by the new MediaTek Kompanio 540 processor that should balance fanless performance and battery life nicely. I've been using this review unit for the last couple of weeks, so I want to take you through the 4 main reasons I think you're going to want to consider this one if you're looking for that large Chromebook for everyday browsing and even a bit of light Android gaming. Let's start with the build quality. So in the hand it's feeling good in this all plastic chassis, fairly strong there, actually a lot thinner than I expected as well when initially picking it up, so that's certainly nice to see. The rear corners on it here, so they're not quite fully rounded, but they don't feel too sharp, to be honest. And I think it's looking pretty smart, so in this silver colour that we've been used to Acer using on their 3 series for a while now. In fact, I've shown 2 previous generations of this 315 model line over the years on the channel. Although from a distance they might look pretty similar, they've certainly evolved. So I've actually still got that 2020 model, so I thought I'd just quickly show you. But yeah, tell me you're an old Chromebook without telling me you're an old Chromebook. The evolution of the 315 model line definitely includes the weight. So this latest 2026 model weighed in at just 1.46 kg for me. That's about 3.22 pounds. Considering the large size of this Chromebook and the fact that this particular one has the optional touch display, I think for an entry-level Chromebook for everyday use, that's really great. And it wouldn't necessarily put me off traveling with it either. I think I'd feel fairly happy with this one in a bag. For a bit of perspective, even if you look back at that 2023 315 that I reviewed on the channel, that one also had a touch display, yet it weighed in at 1.67 kg. That's about 3.68 pounds. The keyboard deck impressed me too, so the first good sign is the speakers are up here with these large grills either side. That's far better than them being underneath the Chromebook, so this way the sound's going to fire up at you. As usual, I didn't find it to be the strongest point of the Chromebook, but they do get decently loud and there is some richness to them. Those large speaker grills and the full-size keys of the keyboard have clearly been prioritised over having a number pad on the side. So if you're not a number cruncher but more into emailing in docs, I think you're going to appreciate that design decision. The keys feel nice and tactile, soft but with feedback and really pretty quiet. This particular model is from the US, so I've got the split enter key, but I do expect for the UK market and anywhere else that would usually have the full-size key, we'll see Acer stick to that design. I've also been impressed by the touchpad, so although Acer brand it Ocean Glass, it is of course plastic, but it's a really decent size, very smooth, well seated, and it feels decent for taps, gestures and clicks. Next up, let's talk about performance. So for both browsing and a bit of light Android gaming, I've had no problems with this 315. I've happily had multiple users logged in with far too many tabs and not felt that I've been held back at all. Wi-Fi 7 for your browsing connectivity is also a nice bit of future-proofing for models in the range that it's an option on. I've got the model option for 8GB of RAM and I'd recommend you prioritise that over any options with 4GB, and I've got the option for 128GB of eMMC storage, which again for everyday browsing is absolutely fine for an entry-level Chromebook. All model options will be powered by the same MediaTek Kompanio 540 processor. That's a new 2026 processor, and with this new board that'll see Chrome OS updates all the way through to January 2036. So the Kompanio 540 seems to balance battery life and performance pretty well from my testing with this one and other Chromebooks that you may have seen recently on the channel. The benchmark results I've got from this one won't blow anyone away, but perhaps it's more about how it also manages its 45 watt-hour battery alongside that. I ran the display at full brightness with some HD YouTube videos playing full screen with the volume muted, and the 315 lasted over 5.5 hours. That was turning off the battery saver when it kicked in. When I ran the same test with the screen brightness at 75%, I was seeing over 10 hours. So for my use managing the screen brightness for general browsing, I was easily getting into a second day before thinking about the need to charge. And when it came to charging with the 65-watt USB-C charger, I found that I could go from 0% battery life up to just over 50% in just half an hour. And all of this performance is fanless, of course, too, so there's no need for any grill down here on the bottom of the Chromebook. Next up, let me tell you about the display. So it's probably the reason you're considering this Chromebook in the first place, because you want that large 15.6-inch IPS display. It's still in a 16:9 aspect ratio, so a widescreen format, and it is Full HD with its 1920 by 1080 resolution and in more of a matte finish. As mentioned, I've got the optional touch display, and that's indicated by the T at the end of the model name. It's responded well enough for my use, but note that it doesn't support a stylus. Acer don't seem to state the brightness level of the display, but I'd guess it's close to 250 nits or a little bit above. I found it plenty bright enough for indoor use. I haven't found the color accuracy to be anything special, but you only really notice that if you put it next to something far superior. And again, for general browsing, that's not really an issue at all. The plastic bezels aren't too offensive either, about what you'd expect for an entry-level Chromebook. And in the top one, you'll find the webcam with its privacy slider. Mine is Full HD, I think it's standard across the range, but do check. The quality's not amazing, but it's certainly adequate for the occasional video call. Connectivity is the next area that impressed me, so you're not likely buying this Chromebook expecting tons of ports, but it gets a couple of things spot on for me to recommend it. First, you've got a USB-C port on both sides for charging data and display out. That makes your desk setup and whatever side you might connect to for power or data just so straightforward. And you've also got a USB-A port on either side. So all of those USB ports are 3.2 Gen 1, and you've also got a headphone microphone combo jack on the right-hand side of the Chromebook, along with a charge power LED. There's also a Kensington Nano port on the far left side of the Chromebook if you need to lock this one down. As always, one variable is price, but you can check the pinned comment for my affiliate links to see availability, model options and pricing from Amazon in your region, and perhaps think about one potential drawback of the 315. It's not a Chromebook Plus model. If you want to know why that may matter and what Chromebook Plus is, click on the video on the left-hand side of your screen now. Otherwise, if you want to check out some other large Chromebooks like this one, click the playlist on the right-hand side of your screen. Cheers.